But we thank you for your resilience and your leadership. I also want to thank our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It is because of him that we are doing what we are doing. He is there because of us. We thank him for his resilience and his steadfastness. We thank our defense forces, the Biafra Liberation Army, the Biafra Defense Forces, the resistance fighters, the Navy, the Air Force of the United States of Biafra. We thank you so much for what you do in protecting our land, protecting our women from the Nigerian terrorist government, from the terrorists that are wearing Nigerian uniform, parading as Nigerian military and police in Biafra land. We thank you for protecting our land and protecting our people. We thank all the new secretaries of the United States of Biafra in the different departments and their executives, the deputy secretaries. We thank you so much. Other cabinet members, the de facto state governors and their executives, the stakeholders. We thank you so much, the old Briggy cabinet members that are following and doing the needful to ensure that our freedom, which we already got, is fully protected. Thank you so much, Biafrans and friends of Biafrans. Welcome to this space today. It is an honor to once again be here to update Biafrans and address some of the concerns you may have as we move towards our final push to go back to our motherland. First, we have to thank God today for the freedom of our four brothers in Finland. It is a thing of joy for Finland to discover that the Nigeria state is the one that is perpetuating all the crimes they impose or the crimes they say that other people are committing. It is the Nigerian government that is committing those crimes. So what they do is what they impose on other people. And we also have some Biafrans that do the same thing. What they do is what they say that other people are doing, but we are going to smoke them out, just like Finland has smoked Nigeria out today and discover that those four innocent Biafrans, that they did not do anything wrong. They are just asking for their freedom, which Finland also asked for, and they got their freedom. The lies that the Nigerian government and their agents, Biafran agents, in Finland and those that are in Nigeria, the lies they perpetuated, all the lies they lied against these innocent Biafrans. Finland has gone through the whole document, both the one presented by Biafrans, the one presented by our allies on the international scene, and the ones presented by the Nigerian terrorist state. And Finland has determined that these Biafrans are innocent of the crimes and of the allegation that Nigerian President Tinubu have leveled against these innocent Biafrans. They discovered that there's nothing criminal that they did. They discovered that the lies perpetrated by the Nigerian government and their agents in Finland holds no water. And that was why they allowed our Biafrans to just go home today. They are with their families and they are just relaxing. We thank God for that. Our Obato Obie is going to join us very, very soon. Because even the records the Finland authorities have, they've discovered that there's just nothing. There is no crime. Whatever Obatobia is doing is what all of us are doing. It is the same thing that our four brothers they've released. That's the same thing they do. Nothing more, nothing less. And in the course of all these investigations, they've discovered that the Nigerian government reintegrates and rehabilitates non-terrorists that kills innocent indigenes of Nigeria, kills innocent Biafrans. We know that our Prime Minister has been looking for an opportunity to let the world know how criminal Nigeria state is. And now Finland has discovered that Nigeria government and the Nigeria state is the true terrorist, is the one killing people, is the one reintegrating terrorists to go and kill innocent indigenous, is the one that have no regard for rule of law, is the one that is breaking all the human rights laws and charters that Nigeria went into. They've discovered that Biafra is a free nation. The people have spoken and they have exited Nigeria, and there's nothing anybody can do about that. Finland have discovered all that. So in the next couple of days, we know our Orabueze is going to join us, just like these our four brothers have gone home to their families. We thank Finland for doing the needful, for doing the right thing, taking your time to go through all the documents that were submitted, both by Biafrans, both by friends of Biafrans, and the one that was submitted by the Nigeria terrorist state. And they found out the truth, that Nigeria is a true terrorist state. It is an enclave of death where people are killed by their hundreds and nobody accounts for that. So thank you so much for Finland. Thank you so much, Finland. Let me get to the topic of today. I hope I'm coming out very clear. Dr. Agi, am I coming out?
Yes, you're coming out clear.
You are. We can hear you loud and clear.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Sorry.
Let me go to the roadmap to our recognition, which was the topic for our discussion today. There are several things we are doing to finalize our recognition by our allies as we march towards our final takeover of our land. We are working closely with our international attorneys, lobbyists, and allies for recognition. As some of you were aware, we already have a couple of countries that have recognized the United States of Biafra during our declaration in Finland. We have more we've been talking with, and in the next couple of weeks or months, we will be having those declarations and those support from our allies. Our attorneys, like I said, are working closely with these different foreign bodies and local bodies, African bodies, and all that to ensure that we get the recognition we need to start partnering and working closely with our allies. Protecting our people in homeland through self-defense. So while we are trying to work on the documentations, even though there are some people, some Biafrans in cabinet that have been trying to sabotage that process by hijacking our emails and blocking, changing my password, changing the password of some innocent Biafrans that are putting documents together to submit to our allies. This guy called Azubike YJ or something, working closely with Ogenkere, Bam Bam Bam, Sani Aparawa and all that. This guy went and changed our password, my password, and I could not have access to some of the emails and some of the documents that I need to submit to our attorneys that have to continue working on our declaration documents and all that. Personally, I don't know why they are doing what they're doing, but thank God we have a secure server and we were able to go inside and be able to pull some of those documents which we need, which we are forwarding to our international allies. But they purposely went in, that Azubike went in and blocked that my email, changed the password so that I should not be, I'll not be able to have access to those documents. But again, you know what? Let them continue doing what they're doing. About Charles Agomaya. About this struggle I know there, we're already in. And there's nothing any of them can do to sabotage this struggle, not why some of us are here. So I wish you luck as we can continue to do what you're doing. And on that note, I've told Biafrans anything Bitcoin, Because it is this same guy that is managing the Biafra USBT cause. So the power that Obacho Obie gave these people, the little power, they are all misusing some of this power to work against this restoration. And we are going to be able to let you know that there's no way you can sabotage this struggle.
All right, wonderful people, welcome back to this wonderful channel where I'll bring you back-to-back updates and information as to the hot. In case you have not joined our social media handle, what are you waiting for? Kindly go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share, and also remember to on your notification button so that whenever our news drop, you go be the first. We'll collect them. All right, let's go down to the news proper as it is hot. You don't shell for the obodo as the matter take be. One of the former DSS boss we understand security and how to protect the people has advised the government on the unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. Of course, you know that recently Tinubu is making plans to grant presidential pardon to some people who are inside the prison, and there are a lot of big fish, people like James Ibori of Delta State will be receiving this pardon, and he has set up a committee to make sure that these people are pardoned and how it is going to be. But as it is, a DSS boss, former, has advised the federal government in order to bring peace in the southeastern part of Nigeria and also to quell the chaos of insecurity that has ravaged that particular part of the country. Of course, you know that the insecurity in the southeast has drowned the economy of the southeast. As it is, the gross domestic product of the southeast has gone so low because of the issue of insecurity, one sit at home, and incessant kidnapping that have been happening, especially Anambra, Imo State, Enugu, and other places. Some of these places now are no-go area in terms of insecurity. Anambra State is where you hear the news of kidnap almost every day. Then Enugu State, the other time, about 36 passengers were abducted and also 3 soldiers. There were 4 soldiers in that bus, but 1 escaped, but 3 of them were abducted with other 36 passengers in Anambra. The same thing, the other time in Anambra, it was the issue of Reverend Father, it was issue of norms, Reverend Sisters, and etc. Even recently, yesterday, another person, there was a news also in Anambra of a UK returnee that was also abducted in Anambra. The other time, it was the issue of a man who was coming back for Xmas, who was sent to early judgment, and his driver was not found. All these things are happening in the southeastern part of Nigeria, and some scholars, security experts, and specialists believe that all these things is as a result of incarceration of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Of course, if you are following the trend, I think that was around 2021 when the inception of the issue of sit-at-home emanated through the office of Mazi Simon Ekpa, when this sit-at-home was declared in order to persuade the government to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But of course, you know that the government of Africa does not obey persuasion, whether by protest or whether by carrying out placards. These government are the kind of government that does whatever they want and whatever that is their mind, and they don't even try to care whether it affects the citizens or that person. But one of the government, the best government that Nigeria has ever had, was the government of Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, that also bettered the government of Goodluck Jonathan. I think these are the 2 presidents who rule by the people. Of course, you know what democracy is all about. You know that in democracy, we have different kinds of democracy. When you see things like presidential democracy, parliamentary democracy, market democracy, and etc. that we have. Of course, you know that Nigeria is running a presidential democracy. And when it comes to democracy, Abraham Lincoln made us to know that democracy is the government of the people by the people. That's the simplest way you can, define democracy. But it seems more that we are in an autocratic government than being in a democratic government, because sometimes when the citizens, when the masses, the populace make their demand, you find out that the government does not pay any attention to the demands of the masses. For example, the issue of the removal of fuel subsidy, when the masses cried a lot, the government believed that the removal of fuel subsidy will help, to reduce the expenditure or the expenses that are being made in the procurement of gas, fuel, and the rest of them. But as it is, on this note, the subsidy has been removed, the prices of fuel are skyrocketed, and we are not seeing what the savings that the government, the intention of the government removing the fuel subsidy was to save some income, to save the money that were being, pushed into the subsidy. And now we are expected to see where this money is going into and the impact of this money in the government, in the present government, and we are yet to see that. Hunger is everywhere, dollar prices is rising, and every other thing. Meanwhile, let's go to the main information of the day. Ndi wanakwea oku seponte as idb. A former director of the Department of State Service (DSS), Mike Ejiofor, has appealed to the President Bola Tinubu to unconditionally release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. Ejiofor suggested to Tinubu to consider a political solution for the Southeast security crisis during an interview on Arise TV morning show. The former DSS director advised the government to prioritize security challenges in the country. He mentioned that certain individuals are killing innocent people in the Southeast in the name of fighting for Kanu. Ejiofor stated that releasing Kanu will be the best way to ease the tension and killing in the Southeast. Ejiofor said we should prioritize the issue of our security challenges. There are some that are political, while others require kinetic and non-kinetic approach. For instance, we have achieved a lot in the Northeast until recent, when we started having some isolated cases. Look at the Northwest, where you have the issue of Lukarawa, and after their initial appearance, much has not been heard from Lukarawa, and that is because of the activities of both intelligence and security forces. When you come to the Southeast, I think the government should take the initiative to find a political solution to the issues in the Southeast, especially with regards to the unknown gunmen and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I strongly appeal to the government to use this opportunity to unconditionally release Kanu and let us see, because people who are killing innocent people are claiming to be fighting for Kanu, and he has condemned these actions. He has spoken out against the seat at home and said he is not in support of it. How can you be fighting for people and at the same time destroy their economy and their means of livelihood? All right, welcome back. This is coming from Ejiofor, a former DSS man, director. Is giving this advice to the presidency to consider, as the presidency is planning to grant presidential pardon to some people in the nation, that the president should also remember people like Kanu and see if this problem will be resolved through a political means. But the thing is, one thing is to give advice to somebody, and another thing is for the person to take your advice. The question is the government going to take this particular advice? Is the government going to take this particular advice? And of course, I know, and I promise you that if the government should adhere to some of the advices that have been given to them, this nation would have become a better place. This nation would have become a better home, because I know that managing the governmental power is not easy, when it comes to handling the masses, because people have their opinion. Even though in the people's opinion, the government has to, be strong enough to take decision. But in some cases, there are some exceptional cases that the government know that this is actually the way. But in a nation where there is, ethnic tension, ethnic separation, should I call it ethnic banter, where during the time of election, you find an Igbo man, wanting his Igbo brother to be in office, whether he's good or not, the Yoruba man wanting his Yoruba brother to be in office, whether he merits it or not, and also the Hausa man wanting his Hausa brother to be in office, whether he is qualified or not. And that is what is going to tell you that somehow Nigeria is too big for a single government to handle. I think if these people actually want to make this nation a better place, I think they should go for a confederal system of government, or also go for restructuring, or rather tell some people, "Ngwanu, you people, I want to let everybody manage themselves." But for that to happen, it is going to be very hard because, of course, you know that the mother country, Britain, are still in serious control of the nation, even though that Nigeria claims to have gotten their independence and the rest of them. Formerly, Nigeria has direct colonial rule, but as it is now, it is an indirect colonial rule. All right, this is where I'll be winding down the curtain, and if this is your first time of joining us on this wonderful channel, kindly go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share, and also remember to on your notification button so that whenever our news is dropping, you'll be the first. We'll collect them. Thank you for listening. God bless you.